The Battle of the Wide Margins. Two of my favorite Bibles in the whole world. Man, I love wide margins. Even if they aren't these two, I just think they're so special. And they really are just so easy to take notes, obviously because they're wide margin. So on the left here we have the Schuyler Wide Margin Quintel, and on the right we have the Cambridge Wide Margin. We're going to go through all of the aspects of these. I'm going to tell you which ones I believe are better, and then at the end I'm going to tell you which one do I think would be right for you. Okay, so this is a more smooth goat skin. It has a little bit of texture, but not much. And then this is a more pebbly goat skin, the Cambridge Wide Margin. So, let you look at the spines. The spines are both nice. You can see that the Cambridge Wide Margin is significantly thicker than, the Schuyler Wide Margin is significantly thicker, than the Cambridge Wide Margin. If we compare them, there's really no debate. Look how thick the Schuyler Wide Margin is. It's even a little bit taller, so that's something to keep in mind. The Cambridge Wide Margin is just going to be a little bit longer, even though it doesn't look like it, because this has a yap and this doesn't. But the Cambridge Wide Margin is going to be just a little bit longer, and you can even see that. So, okay, so who would I say has the better goat skin? My personal opinion, I would say that the Cambridge Wide Margin has the better outside goat skin. I like the pebbly feel. I just love the texture. I love the look. I mean, the look is beautiful. Look at this. Look how beautiful this is. The spine is just immaculate. I mean, just absolutely great. It's going to have tooled spine hubs, so that's going to be a little bit different. But the goat skin, I give the check mark to the Cambridge Wide Margin. They're both going to have perimeter stitching, so they're about the same there. I don't think we need to compare those. They're about equal. Let's go to the ribbons. So if we look at the ribbons on both, the Cambridge Wide Margin is going to have cheaply made ribbons, which they need to fix. And then the Schuyler Wide Margin Quintel is going to have Beresford, very beautiful ribbons. So obviously the Schuyler gets the nod for the ribbons. Okay, let's look at the gilding. So both gilding are very nice. This is a silver line with a red underneath, so it just comes out with kind of like just a beautiful color. Very well done, very well put together. And then the Cambridge Wide Margin. I would say these are about the same in that area too. I don't think that there is a clear winner in that area. I do though like, even though I like the goat skin on this, I like the semi-yap. I wish that Cambridge would put a little semi-yap. It seems to protect the gilding right here and just kind of shape the Bible a little bit different. I really enjoy that aesthetic. Okay, so let's open them up. All right, so the inside covers. So on the left, the Schuyler Wide Margin is going to have a calfskin leather cover, and this is going to be clearly superior to what you see on the right, which is a synthetic cover. Now, don't get me wrong, you can look up a lot of YouTubes on crash tests for this cover, and it will stand the test of time. This is just not going to be the same quality as calfskin, but it is very, very nice. It is high end and it is quality. So clearly, even with the gilt line, clearly I'm going to have to give the calfskin cover on the Schuyler the nod. Okay, so these are both going to be edge lined, as we can see. Let's look at the text block. This might be a little bit difficult because the camera is as high as it can go, and these Bibles are massive. So, all right, put that there and put this one here. There we go. Okay, so the Schuyler Wide Margin Quintel has a 9 to 9.5 text, which is very elegant, very nice. It has its references here at the bottom, right here along the bottom. So it's going to just be a lot easier for people that have trouble reading smaller text. Let's put both of these in Matthew, so that we're not looking at one poetry and one non-poetry. Okay. All right, there we go. So you can see that. So these both have very wide margins. So I would say that the gutter on the Schuyler Quintel has more room than the gutter on the Cambridge wide margins. Not much, but it is a small upgrade. What I like about the layout in the Cambridge is I like the center column references. That's just my preference. But what I like about the Schuyler is that the Schuyler has red accents on their chapter numbers, which is just extremely easy on the eye, and it's just so pleasing to look at, and it's just nice. It's easy to find the chapters, and it's just very beautiful. So the paper quality, let's go into the paper quality before I give you my opinion on the whole text block. So the paper quality, this is a 40 GSM, the Schuyler wide margin Quintel, and then this is a 38 GSM on the Cambridge wide margin. It's really close, guys. It's really close. I'll say it's tough. It's almost a tie. I'll say just because I like the center column reference, I'm going to have to give the edge to the Cambridge wide margin. I like the center column references. The outside margins are just as good as Schuyler's. But it's close. I mean, you can't go wrong with either. Okay, so you can see that they both have nice art gilt on these outside. This is what this is called when the Bible goes from this to this. So they're both very nice. The Schuyler seems to have a little bit darker, so let's give the edge to Schuyler on the art gilding, even though that's not a huge thing. Okay, so if we turn to the back of the Bible, both of these Bibles are going to have maps, and they're going to have nice maps. Okay, so maps. This is a close one. I would say they both really on like similar paper. I'm going to say a tie for the maps. The maps are definitely nice. There is one advantage back here that the Cambridge wide margin just clearly wins. Okay, so they're both going to have this very, very nice paper to write notes in. Very nice paper. Both of these papers are going to be thicker than the regular paper. So if this is a 40 GSM and this is a 38 GSM, let's say this paper is like a 50 GSM. I'm just guessing, but it feels something like that. It looks like the Cambridge is a little bit whiter, maybe a little bit more pleasing to the eye. So maybe let's give the nod to Cambridge. What I do like about Cambridge compared to Schuyler is that Cambridge is going to have an index to notes. So if you can see that, an index to notes. And this index to notes is going to let you make your own note-taking system, which is very nice. And you can also just use this for anything you want to. So the Schuyler is not going to have that. They're just going to have this beautiful paper back here. But they're not going to have an index to notes, which for me is a somewhat big deal. I enjoy that extra paper if I want to take my own notes, or if I just want to make extra commentary notes or quotes or whatever. So, what Bible is right for you? This is a tough one, guys. These are clearly two titans in the Bible producing world. Cambridge versus Schuyler. I'll say this. If you don't leave your house, if you don't want this Bible to leave your house, I would choose the Schuyler. If you're only going to use this in your house, take notes, read commentaries, write notes, have family devotions, write what your kids said on that. Turn this into a family heirloom Bible, pass it down. This is probably the Bible for you, the Schuyler Wide Margin Quintel. If you want this to be portable, like I do, I don't take this exact Bible, but I do take a rebound Cambridge Wide Margin with me. Then I would say that if, for portability's sake, 100% is the Cambridge Wide Margin. And I'll say this. If the Cambridge Wide Margin, if Cambridge would listen to me and a lot of other reviewers, if Cambridge did a calfskin liner, and they just put a little bit more money into the ribbons, then there would be no debate. There would be no point to this review right now, because Cambridge would be so much superior. But this is the ultimate rebind in the aesthetic world. It has everything, guys. It has superior liner. It has beautiful goat skin. It has one of the most beautiful spines I've ever seen. It has Beresford ribbons. It has thicker GSM paper. This, you're not going to go wrong with the quality. The quality of the Schuyler is going to be unmatched, but the portability of the Cambridge is literally the reason that I would choose it over the Schuyler. Once again, one last look at how big the Schuyler is compared to the Cambridge. Now I'll say this though, I recommend both. I think they're both great. I wouldn't fault you for getting either. Alright guys, I hope that you found this review beneficial, and I hope that you guys have a blessed rest of the night. Alright, bye.